All right, hi again. So our third question here is, how do we format and punctuate the three different ways of quoting: the standalone quotation, the merging quotation, and a block quotation? So for a standalone, you want to include the attribution and then a comma before the quote, and then a capital letter begins the quotation. So after the word said, you have a comma, and then the quote always begins with a capital letter because the quotation is supposed to be a standalone sentence, a complete sentence with a subject and a verb and everything else. All right, now for merging quotes, the great thing about merging is it's a clean entry. There's no comma before the quote, so implies that even, no comma, and there's no capital letter. So in my mind, I always think of the two no C's: no comma, no capital letter going in. You keep it clean. And here's another example here. You know, the first part there, yes, Drake trusted building wise and so forth. Those are my words. And then I'm going to merge with this quotation here. So no comma before the quotation and no capital letter. You see the little trick I did with the brackets? We'll get to that in the next section. Now for block quoting, there's a few more rules for this. I'm sure you've seen this. I know you did in research and writing, but here's a nice review for you. You need a lead-in. You indent it a ½ inch on both the left and the right. The quote is single-spaced, so beginning with no citation of authority, that's single-spaced. There are no quotation marks around it. Now, there may be internal quotation marks like abuses associated with saloons. Those are internal quotation marks, so you leave those alone. And then the citation goes on the next line along the left margin. That is the standard way of doing it, but I know some jurisdictions have varied from that. Michigan, for example, if you're quoting to the Michigan appellate court, the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court, they would put the citation within that block, which makes no sense to me because that citation was not in the original quotation. So anyway, for research and writing and advocacy, follow this rule, which is the standard rule from the Blue Book. Okay, and as a review, here are the three different ways of quoting and how to format and punctuate them. This is also in the Blackboard page as well. Okay, so that does it for formatting and punctuating. The next question is, what if we have to make a change or an omission? Okay, I'll see you in that next part.